Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about a topic that affects many of us, and that is cravings and the hormonal imbalances that cause them. Have you ever wondered why, despite your best intentions, you sometimes feel powerless against the urge to eat certain foods? Well, it's not just about willpower. A lot of it has to do with chemistry and hormones and all those types of things and what's happening inside your body. So, let's talk a little bit about cravings and what causes them. Cravings are basically that, like you have to have something, like you're looking for something salt or you're looking for something sweet, and even though you know you shouldn't eat it, you go buy the thing anyways and eat it, and then you're like, why did I do that? And so a lot of cravings, if they're not caused by just emotional relationships like jelly beans at Easter or apple pie at Thanksgiving, a lot of them are because of what's happening chemically, like chemistry, your biochemistry, your hormones, and things are getting out of balance, and then that causes you to have a craving to help bring those hormones back into balance. And so one of the primary ones is insulin, and insulin is what regulates blood sugar levels, and when the levels are balanced, you don't really have any cravings, which is what so many of my clients say, is they're like, my cravings completely went away. But when it's imbalanced, and you're spiking it and then it's dropping, and then you're spiking it and it's dropping, then you start to have cravings. And those cravings could be related to cortisol or they could be related to insulin, but all of your hormones balance off of each other. Leptin is another one that regulates hunger and is what makes us want to eat, and that one also gets out of whack, especially in perimenopause, menopause, and that's where it's like, I don't know why I'm eating this, but I keep eating it. And so it's these imbalances in your hormones, insulin, cortisol, leptin, they all balance off of each other. And the one that you have full control over, or you can at least influence the most, is insulin. And that's affected by every food and drink choice you make. So eating a balanced diet, as boring as it may seem, it is one of the most effective things at helping your body to balance its hormones, and it's one of the key things to preventing weight gain as you transition through menopause, perimenopause. Every food choice matters. It's not a fun thing to say, but it is the reality of what's happening internally in your body. Eating protein-rich foods, healthy fats, and fiber are three components of your diet that can really help stabilize blood sugar levels and keep you feeling full and avoid those cravings. Regular exercise is another great way to balance your hormones. It has a huge effect. It's the only thing proven to reduce cortisol levels. Then stress, right? So stress greatly affects your insulin levels, cortisol levels. It's called the insulin cortisol seesaw. So managing that stress through breathing, yoga, all those things can also help keep your cravings at bay. It is about the whole thing. It is about lifestyle. Your nutrition affects your hormones. Your movement affects your hormones. The space you create in your brain affects your hormones. How you think and feel is often driven by your hormones. So by focusing on those lifestyle factors and really bringing them into balance, you can make great changes in your body. You really can. So I just wanted to talk about that today because a few clients have brought up cravings. A lot of my clients tell me that they go away, and then sometimes when cravings have been, they've been eating balanced and in a way where the cravings are gone and then they sneak back, it's, okay, let's take a step back and see what's happening. Is it affected by the diet? Is there something happening in our world that is stress related? And are we making enough space for self-care and recovery, right? There's a lot of things that influence hormones, but the thing that you can control the most is your nutrition, right? You are 100% in charge of what you eat. No one eats anything by mistake, meaning when you take something and put it in your mouth, you are making a conscious choice to do so. So you want to stay in charge of that. Make sure that I always say, I kind of relate to a car. Like often we end up in the passenger seat in the ride of life and in terms of our nutrition, and we're just going along for the ride and eating what comes our way versus being in the driver's seat and being intentional about making the choices that's going to fuel your body the best so that you avoid those hormonal imbalances and those cravings. It's kind of a big deal. especially a big deal if you're a female headed into perimenopause, those 40s, 50s, 60s. I always say menopause often reveals the imbalances that we developed in our 30s and 40s, and then you hit menopause, and then all those things that estrogen masks goes away, and you now feel the full effects of how you've been taking care of your body. So if you're in your 30s and 40s, this is your sign to make sure, just because you're not, menopause is down the line, how you eat today is going to affect how you transition through. And if you're like myself, post-menopause, menopause, then, your body is very dependent on the foods that you eat. So you need to choose wisely. Make it a great weekend.